Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Muskan, your host and your host for the podcast series The Journeys. This series is presented by Insightner. I would like to welcome Colonel Rahul Chauhan, an army
Thank
man,
you. Thank you.
strong and brave, did for his country whatever it takes. Now a CSO at Adani Group, grit and determination, his guiding light, protecting the company day and night, honor and duty, his constant drive, ensuring safety, he'll always strive. Hello, Colonel. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Muskan. Very kind of you for this nice words and giving me this platform to interact with you and the audience. Thank you so very much.
So, Colonel, I
Yeah.
would like to ask you my first question, which is what motivated you to join the military?
Muskan, I'll say it was my father because he was in Air Force. And then when he put me in military school, there in around 10th, 11th class, I realized that I like leading men. I like being at the helms of the affairs and then taking the group to the successes. And finally, when I was selected in 12th class as a school captain, I think that spurred me. That gave me that kind of a confidence where I just filled the NDA exam, cleared the SSB, landed up in NDA, cleared NDA, and then finally I joined the battalion. So this was, I'll not say motivation, but I think it was just I had to be here, and that's what I came to army. And if I look back 20 years back, I think those feelings which I started getting in 10th class, probably that were the right feeling, and I just followed whatever I wanted. And I'm pretty happy about that.
It's been a great journey, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, where did you serve the majority of time in service, and which was your favorite posting among all?
Muskan, in the army, we tend to stay not more than 2 years at one place and we keep moving around. In last 20 years, I'll say I would have seen more than 10 places. And all these 10 places and more than that, they all are hidden gems. If I talk about the Jammu and Kashmir, if I talk about now Northeast, if I talk about maybe people won't have heard the name of Dima Hasao district in Assam, a beautiful place. It's a hidden gem. Then I've been to Rajasthan. I've been to Wellington, a place in close to Coimbatore. So these all are beautiful places. So if I have to pick one, it is very difficult for me. However, if I have to tell you that you must go and visit one place, that is the Kashmir Valley. You must go. It is one of the best places, most beautiful. The people are great. The cuisine is absolutely wonderful. And this I'm talking when I'm not operating. That means I'm not doing operations. I'm just enjoying the beauty of India.
Your time, yes. I've been to Kashmir actually, and it's heaven. I agree.
Absolutely.
So, my next question to you is what rank are you most proud to have earned and why?
Uh, I'll say two ranks, not one rank.
Okay.
First was one when I was commissioned as lieutenant because my parents they were standing beside me and they were pinning those stars on my shoulders. I almost went numb, and that feeling of that numbness is still there with me. It gives me goosebumps when I remember and recollect those moments. So I'll say that was one. And secondly, when I became colonel, I was chosen to lead a group of men, about 800 odd people, their families and their extended families, because we are as a one group. It is a very onerous responsibility because in army, every decision of a leader is a matter of life and death, especially when you're in field. So your decision matters a lot. So you have to do a lot of calculation. You need to have a lot of plan A, plan B. So that's all invigorates me and that makes me happy basically when I'm in a stressful situation. So that's why I remember when I was colonel and chosen to lead the team, and finally we won few awards also. So these two ranks are very close to me, and they'll remain close to me. I'll keep telling these stories of these two ranks to my kids and maybe grandchildren later on.
So you're telling your story, and it's actually giving me goosebumps. You told that you're
Oh.
Yes, it's actually a pleasure, I must say. My next question to you is about the medals. You were saying that you earned few medals. So, which medals or citations are you most honored to have received?
Muskan, as an individual, I think we all want a pat on the back. And over the period of journey, I have got a number of awards, rewards. And if I have to pick one again, it is very difficult. But I'll still mention, if I talk about my individual award, I'll say when I was adjudged as the best student in my school. Because that time it was, again, when we joined the military school, it was people came from all over India. It was a competitive exam. We joined together, we trained together, and finally going out as the best student, that means it means a lot. So even though I have reached wherever I have reached, I still talk to people about that moment when the award was given to me. So that's why I'll say that individual award is that. However, whenever I have to talk about the awards, it's the team award, because that is difficult to win. Because a leader is as good as the weakest link in his team. So as a team, if you're winning, that means even the weakest link is doing its best. That's why the team is winning. So when I was leading my battalion as a colonel, both at the northern front as well as subsequently after 2 years on the western front, there's a matrix to decide that which battalion will be adjudged as one of the better ones amongst the 100 or plus battalions are there. So in these two locations, in continuous 2 years, we won the team awards, one of the best battalions amongst the western and the northern fronts. These awards are very close to me. They're just hanging behind me. I'm not sure the audience will be able to see it or not, but they're very close to me. So these two things, again, will always remain very close to me.
I'm sure you had a great time in army, and there must be some fun things you and your friends did together while you were deployed. So, would you like to share those memories, if there are any? I'm sure there would be many, though.
Uh, Muskan, when you're there in the field location, especially, you don't know what is going to happen next. I was When we were there in JNK and Northeast, when we are there in the insurgent areas or maybe the terrorist infested areas, every day was a fun day. You never knew that what is going to happen next. When you're going from place A to place B, you don't know what is there in the place. So I'll say those times were the fun days. And as it is, we were young, so we were looking forward to those kind of events. But again, if I have to choose one, probably I'll say I remember those days when I was pretty young and we were there deployed on a 14,000 feet mountain, and it was all snow clad, and we were secluded from the civilization for almost about 6 odd months. Those 10 people staying together and away from the civilization, no electricity. Whenever there used to be light, we used to come out, we used to celebrate each day. We used to sing Dogri songs, we used to cook food outside. So those were the fun days. Probably I remember a lot. I remember a lot those days. And given a chance, I would like to go back to those days when I had nothing to do on the top of a mountain, right? Or just to rest up.
I mean,
I
next
know.
time you must enjoy your every day. That's really
I
great.
agree.
So, tell me about some of the special people you met. I'm sure you would have met a lot of people.
Muskan, I'll say that all those people who help you in your career, or probably whom you want to become, or probably they are the mentor for you. I'll say when I was in military school, I had an administrative officer. When I used to see him dressed up in a military attire, probably that forced me to join army. My father was in Air Force and I joined army. So he was one of the special people who changed the course of my career, my life, you can say that. And thereafter, when I joined my battalion, I had the chief of army staff for my unit only. So I used to look up to him and I wanted to become like him. So he was very special to me, and he will remain special to me because I always looked up to him. I looked at his career path, that what all he did, and I almost tried to replicate. And a lot of credit goes to him. But Muskan, again, I'll say when you're in army, the people or the instructors or the people who are there who are teaching you how to pick up a weapon, how to fire straight, how to react in a distress situation, the tactics to save ourselves and from the and of course our friends against in any operations. Those are the special people. So I'll not pinpoint on a single person. I'll say the entire team, entire battalion, entire family, they all were very, very special to me because whatever I am today, probably it is all because of them.
I'm sure your journey was special, and every person you met was really special to you and close to your heart. So, as I see that you have spent 1 year in South Sudan. So, how was your time in South Sudan? And is there any incident you would like to share from your experience there?
One word is fantastic. Fantastic. It was the first international exposure which I got. I was chosen amongst the few people to represent India outside in a multicultural, international level. And it was a great experience. I was working as the logistic officer. Again, it was a new opportunity for me. And that was the time when the North Sudan and the South Sudan was getting separated. The
Yes.
referendum was going on. Again, it was a great experience. It was somewhere around 2011, if I remember correctly. So during that time, if I have to remember a special incident, I'll say even the partition, the results of the referendum was somewhere around the same time. If I recollect, it was 15th of January or somewhere there when the South Sudan got separated from the North Sudan. And I was there in Juba, their capital. And those people, when I saw them celebrating, when I saw them crying, when I saw them, they had very, very limited resources. Still, they were ready to offer anything and everything. That day, I realized what is the value of freedom.
So
these are few instances or the incidents which remains with you because you have seen something probably you may not notice anywhere else. So I still remember those that particular day, especially when I was there in Sudan.
I'm sure that phase of life would be so special to you. But I have one really interesting question. So, how was the food there? I'm sure that must be hard getting Indian food over there.
So there was hardly anything outside uh, the force headquarters cantonment sort of things what was there. So we used to cook our own food, and I was pretty bad cook. So, but we were four of us. We were there staying together, and we used to call it a tukul. It is called as a tukul, where we used to get together and we used to cook our own food. So 3 days we used to have good food, and the fourth day was a disaster because that was my day. We had to struggle a lot on that.
All right. So tell me a funny story you experienced that could only happen in the military. Like we civilians cannot enjoy that. Like one funny story.
Uh, Actually, people generally they think that the army people are very, very stiff-necked, they are very straightforward, they don't laugh, but that is far from truth. We also have our own moments of joy, which generally doesn't come out quite often because generally we don't talk about all this. But one thing I feel that it doesn't happen outside, probably, I'm not very sure, that we welcome our newcomers, especially the lieutenants who joins the battalion or the newlywed wives of the officers when they join the battalion. We welcome them. Uh, uh, I'll say we do a prank on them. And then we record the entire incident and then we flash it. So when we are formally welcoming him or her in a big gathering, we flash it on a screen and then we enjoy. I recollect one of the incident. It is again of my senior when he was joining the battalion in the JNK. So we planned my seniors they planned to abduct him, and he was kept in isolation for 2 days, and he was made to believe that he has been abducted by the militants. And his entire reactions and actions they all were recorded on the screen. And finally, after 2 days, we did some again prank, and then we got him back to the battalion. And thereafter, during his dining in, the entire thing was flashed, and he was so embarrassed. And whenever we see those clippings again, this great fun, I must say.
I must tell you, like, this is the best podcast, for me, because
Wow.
these stories are really fun. So, as I know that you are currently a CSO at Adani Group, so how your army experience is helping you with your corporate life?
Muskan, I'll say the army is a way of life. The discipline, the work culture, the ethos, the truthfulness, this all gets ingrained in us. And especially if I say in last 20 years, I've already told you I've been to 10 odd different locations, and I've tenanted 10 different appointments, 10 different roles, 10 different functions, and it is everywhere. It is a fresh starting. That means you're starting afresh. You're starting from zero. You're getting the different kind of setup, different kind of job role, different kind of people. So it was little easy in army because the things were same, but the situations were different. So when I joined corporate, it was almost the same. It was change of location, change of people, change of job role. Army has to take about a month or two to settle down and then be productive. Here in corporate, again, it took me probably 4 months to learn, and now I'm productive. In the army, I won a number of awards. I'm sure my journey has started here. My team, along with me, if not the awards, at least our efforts will be recognized. I'm sure.
So, how your experience has been so far at Adani Group, leading 8 businesses as a CSO?
Muskan, I'll say you said the transition is easy. Nothing is easy. Nothing comes easy. But in the army, one thing we are taught: be very organized, plan for it, and then go for it. So I planned because if I say that my career started in military school, my military career started from there, then NDA, then 20 years in army, it is almost 30 years. I was in shorts only, running around and saving the country. I thought, let me wear a tie and a suit and go to some corporate place. So that's why I decided Valentine. I chalked out a plan. I prepared myself for a year and a half. There I had a plan B also. I prepared for GMAT. I gave my GMAT exam.
Mhm.
And a good army person, he always have a backup plan. So I thought if I'll not get a good position and good option or good company, probably I'll do an executive MBA. So I was prepared for that. I did few certifications also. And fortunately, I got an opportunity at the Adani Group. Here, again, it is a wonderful opportunity. I'm looking after the security of all emerging businesses. That means I have to again start afresh. There's data centers which are coming up. There is a reality business which is growing. Then there is a defense and aerospace which is coming up. So I'm from creating security philosophy to designing the security, physical security and the technical security, and then making it happen on ground. It is all very interesting job, and I'm just enjoying it.
I think with all these emerging businesses, with you as a leader, Adani Group is surely grow. So, I wish to ask you what characteristics make an effective leader. So, what do you think are the must key factors that a leader must have?
I'll give my own personal experience that what I have been doing, and I've been pretty okay with whatever I have achieved. I'll not say it is the best, but yes, I've achieved all good things. I never keep myself at the pedestal of a leader. Whatever the group is, I just make them feel that because of my experience, probably I'm part of it. Every individual has got his own capability. I just need to nurture them because everybody comes with a capability. If you tell them this is to be done, probably their capabilities will be limited. You just show them the goal, tell them to explore their own capabilities and move towards the common goal. So I'll say that this particular characteristics or maybe this philosophy which I have achieved, I've been pretty successful, and I would like to continue with that. Of course, I
That's your
like
leadership
mentoring
style.
people. I Sorry.
That's your leadership style.
Yeah, you can say that I'm a kind of a democratic leader who lets people enjoy. There's no point being a banyan tree who is big, strong. People are intimidated, but nothing grows under it. So I'm a person who likes people to grow because if they grow, probably my name will also grow, isn't it?
Yes. So I'm going to go on to my last question. That is, what one mantra in your life has helped you a lot? Like, what's your mantra?
Muskan, I'll not say that it is a mantra. I'll say it is philosophy of my entire career or life, and I try to give this to my kids also. Is that we need to have a always we need to be very very articulate and meticulous towards the planning. So I plan every year that how my year is going to be. Then I divide it into long-term goals, mid-term goals, and the short-term goals. Then all these three brackets are further subdivided into the milestones that I want to achieve. This first, then next, then next. And this has helped me a lot. And this is not only about my professional career. I'm talking about my personal career. I'm talking about my family. I'm talking about my finances. I'm talking about my physical fitness. Everything. I've well-defined targets for this entire year. And if I have to give an example, last year I decided myself to run a half marathon and do well in that, not only to run a half marathon. Then I had decided that I'll read at least 20 books. I failed in that miserably because of the time constraint. And I had decided to do a certification. I did a certification again, in spite of being very busy, I achieved that certification. So this way, again, for finances, I had decided that I'll do something for the mutual fund and I'll learn something and then I'll grow some. Unfortunately, again, I failed there, but at least I tried.
Yeah.
So that has been my mantra, or you can say the philosophy of life, where I would like to be very organized. I would like to break down into milestones and try to achieve them by doing a lot of hard work and research. So that's how I am. That's what
I was
I
also
strive
looking at
for.
your LinkedIn profile and I saw that you're also learning a language, right?
Uh, I want to do a lot of things actually. So I want to. I keep telling my kids also that if going forward, if we have to succeed, we have to be an all-rounder. Having only one capability and quality probably will not lead us anywhere. So you have to be a good writer, you have to be a good orator, you need to have knowledge of different languages, you need to have, you should be able to play at least one instrument, you should be able to sing in a platform, you should, when you stand on a rostrum, people should listen to you. So all these qualities, you know, to keep building it up. So I want to do a lot of things. I don't know what all. So I keep defining it for myself every year. Some I achieve, some I don't. But yes, I think I'm at that juncture. We talk about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You will see in motivation theories when you'll read about that. So I'm on top right now. I don't want to achieve. I have achieved almost whatever I wanted to. Now it is self-actualization that I'm looking for. That what can make me happy. So probably learning languages, again, it's in planning, not in this year bucket. I want to do it. This year bucket is already full. I'll not spill that beans because that I'll do it next year,
All
whether I've
right.
been able to achieve or not. But I'm very clear that I've laid down certain targets. Again, what I want to be at 50 years of age, what I want to be at 55. I'm very clear about that.
So can we get an idea of what's your long-term goal?
That is very close to me. But yes, if I'm looking in future, I'm looking for maybe much bigger roles, much bigger responsibilities, where again I'm leading a big group and and achieving awards and rewards and succeeding as a person, as a team leader. And of course, Muskan, to be very frank, going forward, the security, physical security, there's a difference between physical security, cyber security, IT security. This all is going to be merged. So I have to be future ready. Now the life, or now the security cannot be restricted only to physical security. That means gun guards and gates. So if I'm stuck to that, probably I'll become a dinosaur. I'll be extinct. So I'm preparing myself for the future. I'm getting future ready. I'm learning about the blockchain, how it can be used in uh, security domain, how the data analytics can tell, how can it improve this physical security, how it can help. And of course, I want to learn maybe some languages in like Python, all these. There's a lot in store, and it will keep me excited for this year at least.
That's a pretty interesting idea, to keep long-term goals and short-term goals. I must say that your kids are lucky to have a mentor like you and also your teammates.
Thank you so very
And
much. You've been very kind.
And thank you for taking the time to speak with me. It was a great podcast and I had a lot of fun, and the discussion was really insightful. Thank you again, Colonel Chauhan. It was a pleasure and I hope you enjoyed too.
Muskan, thank you so very much. I think this is the first time I'm interacting in such an open manner. Otherwise, we military person, we are very, very, I'll say, we shy, camera shy. We don't want to come on the camera. But yes, you have given a platform where I could express myself, share my feelings, exactly I have gone about my life, my career, and what I'm looking forward to. So I'm sure I've been truthful. I'm sure you would have liked whatever I had said, and
Yes.
it was all my personal experience. Thank you so very much for giving me this platform. Thank you.
Thank you to you, sir, for coming on the show, and it was really good. So, podcast comes to an end, and this is Muskan, and I'm signing off.